The following is a transcript between Matías De Stefano, referred to as me, and his higher self, referred to as I Am, originally produced on March 9th, 2021, under the constellation of Pisces in the mental week, examining through the knees chakra. I am. What is the first thing you remember about me? Me. The noises were raging outside my being. A deafening singing was forced in my being to urge me to see. A strange verb, apparently, for what I had no eyes. Behind me, the presence of another being. I wanted to see his face, although he did not exist. And I began to turn and see him, but it was impossible. We both began to dance, looking to each other, but the more we turned, the faster everything changed. And in the speed, the darkness of the void became light. It radiated, and there, in the intense speed, I could see you. It was myself. It was you. And when I saw you, I saw all that I am. I am the beginning and the end, and all its ways, one step at a time. Me. One step at a time, and each step was a cycle expanding into all spaces, and each time was an instant projected into all times. I am. What was the first step? Me. I saw the light, and the light radiated in all directions. It was an incomparable ecstasy. It was the potential of all things. Now I understand what is called Almighty. It was greatness itself, and from me, from us, from the whole, rays of hundreds and thousands of colors, unimagined, were emerging. The incessant spinning of the dance of a positive and negative bent the light, bent its time and space, forming a beautiful mandala, in which I intertwined the rays in one direction, while my other self did it in the opposite. The rays of light bent, bending constants, time and space, and still they made sense. Like sunflower seeds, in which each row of seeds intersperse neatly in a spiral shape, some to the right and some to the left. Likewise, the light began to interweave, creating the sensation of a web. I am. Oh, the web, do you remember? Me, yes, the first step, an eternal, immeasurable, self-generating web that, when it seemed to expand and disappear into the eternal, it not only came back to itself, its links were millions, and they enveloped everything, contained the potential, and in turn allowed it to manifest itself. From there, I could feel everything. I was everything. Everything was at my fingertips with just a twist. It is the cosmic matrix. I am the fabric of existence, arriving from the perfume, from the essence of the seventh dimension like spores, the evaporation of the universal quintessence. Me, it is as if from one flower many others bloom, like an agapanthus radiating its lilac stems in the form of a sphere, and each of its flowers looking in different directions at different times, different spaces, or even more, are hypercubes emerging from hypercubes. But the same cannot be seen with the lines and points. I am. They are waves like veils. Me. Yes, the famous veils, those that we say fall the veil of the unconsciousness. It is like an artistic room where thousands of silks are lit with the dim lights, and a soft current of air makes them flutter velvety. It is like being in a subtlest of wombs, and instead of already being a baby or a fetus, being only a zygote or a double cell spinning on itself, looking for its place in a magical environment. I am. It is the heat that emanates from the fire, the steam that rises from a lake, the dust that swirls in the earth. It is the air that sustains the clouds. Me. It is that which we can feel but not touch, that which we know is there but escapes from our hands, like the scent of a flower, the perfume of a person, that which makes us identify them, and yet we cannot see them or have them. They are the electrons of an electric current, the algorithmic data of a computer, the mathematics in a construction, the chemistry in the kitchen, the love in a couple. I am the network where everything is found. Me. Tham Theorga, the universal library. I am the grid of information emitting from the light. Me. What they are called here, Akashic records. I remember when I felt them, when I first connected the 8th dimension. I was only 15 years old in this life, and I saw you appear as that essence where I could feel everything: love, algorithms, geometry, heat, dust, atoms, perfume. Everything was there, everything that gives sense to the senses. The data that our body processes by electrical impulses, that our brain decodes to take them to the understanding of the physical, emotional, or mental reason, but that do not belong to any of the 3 levels. A perfume awakens memories of love, awakens knowledge of a chemistry, botany, awakens numbers, reactions, and in you was all of that in one. It all opened up before me, and my senses failed to interpret it. I felt like I was consumed trying to understand, and then my mind found a way, a library. I am, and I was its librarian. Me. Millions of books on shelves that had no top or bottom, with aisles that went in all directions, with librarians walking along ceilings or walls that were not always straight or at perfect angles. The books, when you touched them, seemed to have words, but you could feel them, smell them, touch them, watch them like a movie, but never read them. They were sensations, and each book was a memory. I am, but not yours. Me. Oh no. A memory of all, and all itself was there, recording every instant, every movement, and yet every possibility that already was written there. Everything that for us emanated into the future as probability, returned integrated into the library as past. Thus, we could read the ancient stories of the future. I am. It is the toroid. The name comes from the word of Latin Italic origin, Taurus, and another Greek, oid. Taurus has nothing to do with the animal bull, nor the constellation, but with the Latin word that refers to a thick and bulky structure, either to describe the architectural form of arches and columns, or the trunk of a tree, or the bulge of an arm, or a hill. Me. Ah! Like in Catalan, we say turo to a hill. I am. That's where it comes from. Oid refers to resembling something. So you have humanoid, plantoid, android, and in this case, it refers to resembling a trunk or a curved hill or a round arch of a temple. The term is used to describe structurally the shape of an electromagnetic field. It has several versions, but all are eternal to each other. One has the shape of an apple, and the other a shape of a donut. Imagine that the core of the apple is a planet, so the peel will be the external toroidal structure, and the donut will occupy the internal place of the pulp. In the aspect of the apple, the veins that emerge from the stem that connects the apple to the tree are the positive magnetic lines that travel a downward path to the lower end of the apple, where they return to the core on its negative side. This generates a constant flow of energetic circulation. Think of how from this 7D vision that these seeds, the heart of the fruit or planet, are the potential of the whole cosmos, the purest light radiating their 12 rays, their flowers. You would thus see 6 toroids with their 6 positive and 6 negative ends interacting with each other. What you see, those veils of infinite color interacting, running from north to south and from south to north. The constant rotation of the nucleus twists the light rays, bending time and space, generating what is known as hyperboloid. It comes from the Greek to throw beyond, hyperbolos, and it's related to the image of a cylinder and the strings that turn in opposite directions, the top one to the left and the bottom one to the right, contracting the previously straight strings by twisting them to their opposite ends until they all collapse in the center, creating an image of a cup. The hyperbole figure shows how the lines of time and space begin to cross each other, combining and expanding at the same time. At its center, the tension generates energy, which throws the strings at full force in their opposite direction, further out, creating momentum, causing what enters as information from below to be propelled upward. Me. It's a complex image, but by searching hyperboloid on the internet, I found it, and it's clearer now. It is like the center of a toroid, the inner part. I am. It is the generator of the constant force. The incessant rotation generates a spiral flow called trajectory, a sort of magnetic Ouroboros of eternal current. There, all data is processed eternally toward infinity, and the cosmos is nourished by data, in which the aspects that you call future are nothing more than the distension of the strings, and flows being expanded data, when then they contract downward as past due to the gravity that takes them towards the center, in which as a midpoint the present can be expressed. Thus the 8D is the eternal toroid that feeds back with information, and it does so by generating essences to be felt and experienced. Me, to create perfumes to be smelled, colors to be seen, shapes to be touched, tastes to be tasted, sounds to be heard. I am. Everything in the universe is but data expanding into essence of the future, densifying as a physical structure of the past to be experienced by the senses of the present. But it is just the data moving at different speeds, faster than light. Me. It is the future, then, that creates the past, while the past nourishes the future with new ideas. I am. In 8D, there is no logic as you know it, and 4D also loses its own. Me. How? I am. Well, 4D is the dimension of time, that is, in which a being can be seen in all of its temporal extensions from beginning to end. But in 8D, there it is much more, because it is not describing what has happened, happens, or will happen, but it creates everything that happens, will happen, and happened. The 8D is the creator of the data. Me. When someone explained to me about the Akashic records, I knew that it was what I called 8D. Akasha in Sanskrit means light, that is, the light records, where everything is already written. So, does this mean that the 8D is destiny? I am. If you throw yourself incessantly to live with the same force, the destiny will be written. But you can change your intensity. When you connect to the 8D, you are a master of your destiny. You can build future, time travel, create time. If you are not conscious of the dimension, every particle of light that composes you will be determining your existence. But if you become enlightened in the 7D, me, you become light and then you design your destiny in the 8th dimension. I am. The Akasha records are not only on Earth, they exist throughout the universe in every particle and wave, because all data are parts of the same network. Me. And if we connect to the planetary grid, are we then connecting to the 8D grid? I am. You will be allowing the essence of things to enter your world. Me. Open the library. I am. Read the books of the future. Me. And build a new time. I am. Now you have understood what that phrase really means. Me. How do I connect to 8D? I am. Walking in a garden. Close your eyes and smell the scent of a flower. And instead of visualizing the flower, visualize the memories that brings it to you. And let yourself be guided, not by the senses, but by its memories. Me. This is how the records are opened. It is how we can remember facts from this life and from other lives. I am from the past and the future, from memory and intuition. Ignite the light from your love. Activate with it your quintessence, and you can expand the aroma of your spirit, me. And with it, I will connect to all possible times and spaces, creating the new. I am. The only possible time here is eternity.